Good morning, second graders. Today is Tuesday, February 2nd, and we are going to flip over our card and then we are going to talk about several things because there is a lot to do in our number corner for February. So yesterday we talked about how each one of our calendar markers this month is going to have a different country's flag on it. And I told you that we are going to use something on the flag to make some predictions and do some comparison. So I'm still going to keep that a little bit of a secret, but I am going to flip over today's card and I want you to start thinking about what it is. I'm also going to tell you that there's a story problem for each card. So it's going to be on our slide. I haven't added it yet, but I'm going to read you what yesterday's was and then what today's is, and we're going to add it to our chart. So here we go. Let me flip over today's card. What do you notice about it? What is the same about this card as yesterday's card, and what is different? This is the flag for Norway. And Norway is on a different continent. It's on the continent of Europe. So if I go back to our map, I haven't added a lot today, but if we go to this map, I drew an arrow to Norway. It's way up here. So it's pretty far from our other country. All right, so I noticed that both of them have blue. I noticed that both of them have white. And I noticed that both of them have red. So I wonder what we are going to start comparing. So let's pull up our calendar grid observation chart and we're going to add to it. So I already have Chile. This is what the mysterious comparison is going to go in here, but I haven't added it yet. And we're going to leave that blank for a little while. So I did Chile. And then the story problem yesterday was one person went to Chile and saw 10 goats in the Andes Mountains. How many people and goats in all? So I'm going to read that again. One person went to Chile and saw 10 goats in the Andes Mountains. How many people and goats in all? So you'll see in this yellow column, I've written the equation. It told us both parts, and we needed to figure out what the whole was. So it gave us the start, and it gave us the change, and we needed to know what the whole was. All right, so today I'm going to write our country, which is Norway. And remember, this part is blank. Today's story problem, I'm going to read it and I'm going to type it at the same time. It says two people, oops, wrong box. Two people, maybe. I need to change the color. Here we go. All right, two people went to Norway and saw some fish in the Arctic Ocean. There were 22 people and fish in all. How many fish? All right, so I know what I did that was wrong. I'll know for next time. All right. Okay. So two people went to Norway and saw some fish in the Arctic Ocean. There were 22 people and fish in all. How many fish? Okay. So I want to think about what parts of the equation I know and what parts of the equation I still need to figure out. So I know that two people went to Norway and saw some fish. Does it tell me how many fish they saw? No. So maybe that's what I need to figure out. There were 22 people and fish in all. Okay, so that tells me what my answer is. So I want to know how many fish. Two people went to Norway and saw some fish in the Arctic Ocean. There were 22 people and fish in all. how many fish? All right, so 2 people plus, I don't think we know this answer. I don't think we know how many fish, but we know in all is 22. So what is our answer? What plus 2 equals 22? 20. So I'm going to type in 20. I'm going to underline it so that we know that that's the part of the problem that we needed to figure out. So this is called, the first number is called the start, and the second number is called the change, or how much it's changing by. So we will keep adding to this. All right, let's go over to our next thing. Now, this is something that you very well might need to do this after you get off of the screen with me, because online and in person is just different. When I do this in person, they can follow along and do it with me, but you're on your iPad, so you won't be able to do it in the same way. So it's really day 2 of February. So it's February 2nd, 2021, or 2-2-21. And we've already talked about the flags, and now we're going to capture the clock. So we're going to think way back, and we're going to, this is the part where I want you to just write down the number that I want you to show me, and then do it on your clock app after. So I want you to practice showing me 1 o'clock. Okay, so maybe on a piece of paper right now, you write 1 o'clock, and then after this video, you practice doing it. Okay? Okay, so same thing. I want you to write down 5 o'clock, and then after this video, you're going to practice showing 5 o'clock on the clock. Now, maybe you get a grown-up, and they double check you to make sure that you're doing it right. And 3 o'clock, so you're writing these down, and then you're going to do it on your own clock after. 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Okay. Now we're going to look at a few clocks. So far, all the times that we've done are at o'clock. And so the long minute hand is pointing right up to the 00 at the top. So now we're going to look at some times that are at the 6 or the 30 mark. So how would you read this if you saw this time right here? Put your finger on your nose if you said 2:30. If you said 2:30, you are totally right. But there are a few other ways that you might hear people talk about this time. And that is, you can say that it's 30 minutes past 2 or half past 2. That would mean the same thing as 2:30. 30 minutes past 2 or half past 2. Okay. So now I want you to show me doing some more times on a clock. Now remember, when something is 30 and we count minutes on a clock, we count by 5s. So to show 30, the long minute hand is going to be pointing down to the 6. And since it's already half past, your hour hand is going to be halfway between 2 numbers. So for example, this, let me go to the next one. Wouldn't it, see how the minute hand is pointing right to the 6? And the hour hand is halfway between the 1 and the 2. That's one of the reasons why some people say half past 2 or half past 1. This would be half past 1. All right? Okay, so knowing that, now how would you show 12:30 or half past 12? Remember, you have to be mindful of the hour and the minute. So you're going to do all these times on your own after to practice, because time is one of our skills, even though we've already talked about it. We want it fresh in our brain. You'll do 9:30, 5:30, 11:30. So remember, you're writing these down so you can practice after. And now let's just talk. What time does this say? Look at the hour hand first and then the minute hand. 5 o'clock. What time does this say? Ooh, this is tricky. This is to the nearest minute. We haven't talked about this yet. So here's what I see. I see that the hour hand is between the 4 and the 5, so I know it's 4 o'clock. And then I'm going to count by 5s to figure out what the minutes are. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. But I notice that my minute hand is a little bit past the 30. It's pointing to this little tick right here, and that stands for 1. So if I just landed on 30, then this would be 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So the time would be 4:31. How about this? What does this time say? 2 o'clock. How about this? Ooh, they've added a hand, the second hand. We don't count that. We just are going to look at the hour hand and the minute hand. So what time does this say? 8 o'clock. What about this one? I see that the hour hand is between two numbers, so I know that it's not quite to this number. It still has to be 7. So this is 7:30 or 7:30. All right, so tomorrow we will meet back here to do more, but that is a good start. We'll have another story problem, and we will learn more about what's going on in our busy, busy Number Corner month. All right, I will see you next for the lesson.